Namaskar. A warm welcome to World News and Indian Perspective on Akashvani. This is Abhineet Shukla, bringing glimpses of the major developments of the day from across the globe. Over the next half an hour, we shall bring to you the latest from the world of politics, economy, sports, entertainment and more. The headlines. Prime Minister receives Sengol from the Adhinams of Tamil Nadu, shares a video of the new parliament building to be inaugurated with #MyParliament_MyPride. Nepalese Prime Minister to embark on an official visit to India next week. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Nigeria's President-elect. Drone attack on a Russian oil pipeline facility speculated to be a counter-offensive of Ukraine. In Jammu and Kashmir, Hizbul Mujahideen activists arrested by CRPF and local police in Kishtwar district. Deputy National Security Advisor chairs a meeting to ensure India's rights under Indus Water Treaty. And in Malaysia Masters Badminton semi-finals at Kuala Lumpur, ace shuttler HS Pranoy reaches men's singles final. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will dedicate the newly constructed Parliament building to the nation on Sunday. The new building symbolizes the spirit of self-reliant India. The newly constructed Parliament building has been built in record time with quality construction. The building, which will work to further enrich India's glorious democratic traditions and constitutional values, is also equipped with state-of-the-art facilities which will help the members to perform their functions in a better way. In the present building of the Parliament, there is a provision for the sitting of 543 members in the Lok Sabha and 250 in the Rajya Sabha. Keeping in view the future requirements, arrangements have been made for a sitting of 888 members in the Lok Sabha and 384 members in the Rajya Sabha in the newly constructed building. The joint session of both the houses will be held in Lok Sabha chamber. The present building of the Parliament was completed in 1927, which is now going to be almost 100 years old. The lack of space was being experienced in this building as per the present requirements. In both the houses, there was also a lack of convenient arrangements for the sitting of the MPs, which was affecting the efficiency of work of the members. Considering it, both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha passed resolutions urging the government to construct a new building for the Parliament. Consequently, on the 10th of December 2020, the foundation stone of the new building of Parliament was laid by the Prime Minister. To mark the inauguration of the new Parliament building, Mr. Modi will launch a 75 rupees denomination coin on Sunday. The obverse face of the coin will bear the lion capital of Ashoka pillar in the centre, with the legend Satyamev Jayate inscribed below. The Ashoka pillar will be flanked by the word Bharat in Devanagari script on the left periphery and the word India in English on the right periphery. Ahead of the inauguration ceremony of the new Parliament building, Prime Minister Narendra Modi met the Adhinams at his residence this evening and took their blessings. The Adhinams hand over the Sengol scepter to Mr. Modi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has shared the video of the new Parliament with a voiceover carried out by the citizens, conveying their thoughts as requested by him. In a tweet, the Prime Minister expressed his delight over the overwhelming response to the forthcoming new Parliament building. He noted that this new symbol of democracy will continue working diligently to fulfill the aspirations of the people with more vigour. Sharing a tweet by Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Mr. Modi emphasized the importance of this institution in strengthening India's development trajectory and empowering millions of its citizens. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate and dedicate the newly constructed Parliament building to the nation on Sunday. The Assistant High Commission of India in Kandy celebrated a momentous occasion on Friday as it launched a special logo commemorating its 100th anniversary. High Commissioner of India to Sri Lanka, Gopal Bagle, virtually inaugurated the logo during the event. The winning logo was chosen through a competition organized by MyGov, attracting 470 participants. Mr. Rais Ahmed Bhatt's design stood out, incorporating the vibrant colors of both the Indian and Sri Lankan national flags, along with their respective national symbols. Expressing gratitude, Mr. Bagle acknowledged the continuous support provided by the Sri Lankan authorities to AHCI over the past century. He highlighted the significance of 2023, which not only marks the centenary of AHCI's establishment in Kandy, but also commemorates 75 years of diplomatic relations between India and Sri Lanka. The High Commissioner reaffirmed India's commitment to collaborate with Sri Lanka for the mutual well-being of their respective populations. The Yoga Mahotsav will be held on Sunday morning at NCC Parade Grounds in Secunderabad to mark the 25 days countdown to the International Yoga Day. Morarji Desai National Institute of Yoga under the Ministry of Ayush is organizing the Yoga Mahotsav. Governor of Telangana, Dr. Tamilisai Sundararajan, will grace the occasion as the chief guest. Union Minister of Ports, Shipping and Waterways and Ayush, Sarbananda Sonowal, announced this at a press conference on Saturday. He said that the Yoga Mahotsav at Secunderabad will set the stage for a grand International Day of Yoga to be celebrated at Jabalpur in Madhya Pradesh on the 21st of the next month. The Union Minister also announced that the theme of this year's International Yoga Day is Yoga for Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. He also highlighted how elaborate plans are being prepared and drawn to celebrate the International Day of Yoga this year. He informed that an ocean ring of yoga will be created on June the 21st with the help of the Ministry of Defence, Ministry of External Affairs and the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. Yoga demonstrations at many ports on many ships will take place as many countries are also likely to join this program. The minister also said that yoga demonstrations will also take place from Arctic to Antarctica. Countries falling on or near the prime meridian line will join the yoga demonstration. In today's Hotspot section, we bring you a news commentary on India's defence production crossing 1 lakh crore for the first time.
As a result of the consistent efforts of India's Ministry of Defence, the value of defence production in financial year FY 2022-23 has crossed the figure of 1 lakh crore rupees for the first time ever. The value currently stands at 1,06,800 crore rupees and it will go further up once the data is received from the remaining private defence industries. The current value of defence production in FY 2022-23 is a rise of more than 12% over FY 2021-22 when the figure was 95,000 crore rupees. The government is continuously working with defence industries and their associations to remove the challenges faced by them and promote defence production in the country. A number of policy reforms have been taken to achieve the objective of ease of doing business, including the integration of micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs and startups into the supply chain. Due to these policies, the industries including MSMEs and startups are forthcoming in defence design, development, manufacturing, and there is almost a 200% increase in the number of defence licenses issued to the industries in the last 7 to 8 years by the government. These measures have given a boost to the defence industrial manufacturing ecosystem in the country and generated tremendous employment opportunities. The Indian government has taken several measures to promote domestic manufacturing and investment in the aerospace and defence sector. An innovation ecosystem for defence titled Innovations for Defence Excellence IDEX was launched in April 2018 to foster innovation and technology development in defence and aerospace by engaging industries including MSMEs, startups, individual innovators, R&D institutes and academia. IDEX provides them grants, funding and other support to carry out innovations, R&D, which has the potential for future adoption for Indian defence and aerospace needs. Under IDEX, 310 startups have been engaged. IDEX Prime framework under IDEX has been launched in 2022 to support startups with grant in aid up to 10 crore rupees to enable the development of high-end solutions. The country's defence industry is now capable of manufacturing a wide variety of high-end requirements, including tanks, armoured vehicles, fighter aircraft, helicopters, warships, submarines, missiles, electronic equipment, special alloys, special purpose steels and a variety of ammunition. Many state-of-the-art products have been produced in the country, including aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, fighter jet Su-30 Mk-1, light combat helicopter Prachand, light combat aircraft Tejas, Tejas, the 155 artillery gun system Dhanush, surface-to-air missile system Akash, and main battle tank Arjun. For the first time, a made-in-India advanced towed artillery gun, howitzer gun, developed by the domestic industry was part of the 21-gun salute during the Independence Day celebration in 2022 at Red Fort in Delhi. India is also ready to defend itself as the contours of conflict are changing with the increasing prevalence of network-centric warfare. To remain battle-ready for the future, India has also started producing equipment like weapon locating radar, WLR, integrated air command and control system, software-defined radios and optoelectronic sights for battle tanks. 2 defence industrial corridors have been established in Uttar Pradesh and Tamil Nadu to attract private and foreign investment worth 24,000 crore rupees has already been made in these 2 corridors. In the last 3 years, 163 proposals worth 2,50,000 crore rupees have been approved for domestic manufacturing. The government's focus on indigenization has reduced the expenditure on defence procurement from foreign sources, and the share of domestic procurement has increased to 68% this year. Rapid progress has been made towards achieving Atmanirbharta in the manufacturing of defence equipment required by the Indian Armed Forces. Increasing Atmanirbharta in defence is strengthening the Indian economy, generating employment opportunities and reducing the import burden of the government. In the longer run, Atmanirbharta in defence will also ensure India's strategic independence.
Nepal Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachand will embark on an official visit to India from the 31st of May to the 3rd of June this year at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. This visit marks the first bilateral visit abroad by the Nepalese Prime Minister since assuming the office in December 2022. During the visit, Prime Minister Prachand will call on President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. He will also hold extensive discussions with Mr. Modi focusing on various aspects of the bilateral partnership between India and Nepal. In addition to the official engagements, the Prime Minister of Nepal will also be visiting Ujjain and Indore as part of his itinerary. Defence Minister Shri Rajnath Singh will visit Nigeria from the 28th to the 30th of May to attend the swearing-in ceremony of the President-elect of the West African nation, Mr. Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Mr. Rajnath Singh will attend the swearing-in ceremony at Eagle Square in Abuja on the 29th of May. He will also meet the outgoing Nigeria President, Mr. Muhammadu Buhari, during a reception hosted by him on the 28th of May. This will be the first ever visit of any Indian Defence Minister to Nigeria. The Defence Minister's visit will be an important landmark in building the strong bonds of friendship between the 2 countries. Considering the growing defence cooperation between India and Nigeria, senior officers of the Ministry of Defence and the top leadership of important defence PSUs will accompany Mr. Rajnath Singh. They will hold meetings with the representatives from the Nigerian industry and the armed forces to identify the equipment and platforms through which the Indian defence industry can support the country's requirements. Nigeria is home to an estimated 50,000 members of the Indian community. The Defence Minister will address the Indian diaspora at Abuja during the visit. In Jammu and Kashmir, the police, along with a team of 17 RR and 52 battalions of CRPF, arrested one of the most active associates of the Hizbul Mujahideen, that is HM outfit, from the Cherji area of Kishtwar district on Friday. Our Jammu correspondent reports that, acting on specific inputs, the police, along with Army and CRPF, arrested one Muhammad Yusuf Chauhan of the Cherji area in terror-related activities. On his disclosure, one Chinese grenade was recovered from the Cherji area. However, a major search operation has been launched by the security forces in Cherji, Chicha and Padyanna areas so that active terrorists of the district are nabbed and further leads into the case are developed. Pertinent to mention, SSP Kishtwar Khalil Poswal warned the youths not to fall prey to the evil designs of terrorist organizations. He also requested locals to inform the police about the movement of terrorists so that immediate counter-action is taken against them. This is Akashvani giving you the world news. Deputy National Security Advisor Vikram Misri on Saturday chaired the second meeting of the task force to ensure the exercise of India's rights under the Indus Water Treaty. The meeting was attended by the Principal Secretary, Power Development Department, Jammu and Kashmir, and officials of the concerned executing agencies, besides officials from the Ministry of External Affairs and the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Vikram Misri, who was on a two-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir, took stock of progress made on various hydropower projects in the Union Territory. He emphasized upon the concerned officers to ensure that works on all the Indus Basin projects are completed in a time-bound manner to enable better utilization of India's rights under the Indus Waters Treaty. During his two-day visit, Deputy NSA also called on Lieutenant Governor Manoj Sinha and apprised him of ongoing steps towards monitoring of implementation of hydropower projects in the Indus Basin on directions of the Prime Minister's office. Vikram Misri also met the top military and security officials in the Union Territory and was briefed on the prevailing situation in the Valley of Kashmir. He appreciated the role of all the stakeholders in the successful conduct of G20 Working Group meeting on tourism held in Srinagar recently. After talks about Iran's water rights did not give any fruitful conclusion, tensions rose between the Islamic Republic of Iran and Taliban on Saturday. Earlier on Thursday, Iran's president had warned Afghanistan's Taliban rulers not to violate the water rights of the Iranian people over their shared Helmand River, according to the state-run IRNA news agency. While Iran's state-run news agency acknowledged the fighting on the border of Iran Sistan and Balochistan provinces and the Afghan province of Nimruz, saying its forces inflicted heavy casualties and serious damage, Taliban-controlled media in Afghanistan did not acknowledge the fighting. The advocacy group Helvash quoted residents in the area describing the fighting as starting Saturday morning. The group put the fighting near the Kang district of Nimruz, saying some people in the area had fled the violence. Online videos posted purportedly from the area included the crackle of machine gun fire in the distance. The apparent clash comes in the wake of the incident when Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi had recently warned the Taliban not to violate Iran's water rights to the Helmand River. Raisi's remarks represented some of the strongest yet over long-running concerns about water in Iran. Iran has been facing serious drought issues for some 30 years, but that worsened over the past decade, according to the UN's Food and Agriculture Organization. The Iran Meteorological Organization says that an estimated 97% of the country now faces some level of drought. Earlier on Saturday, the Taliban's acting foreign minister Amir Khan Muttaqi met with an Iranian envoy to Afghanistan to discuss the Helmand River water rights, according to tweets from Afghan Foreign Ministry official Zia Ahmed. IRNA acknowledged the meeting, saying that issues between the two countries will be better resolved through dialogue. But tensions have otherwise been rising. In Russia, an explosion from two drone attacks near Belarus border damaged an oil pipeline facility. Meanwhile, no casualties have been reported so far. According to media reports, two drones attacked on a station that serves the Druzhba Friendship Pipeline, one of the world's largest oil pipelines. The incident occurred near the village of Litvinovo, less than 10 kilometers from the country's border with Belarus. Local media reported that it is speculated that this is the counter-offensive of Ukraine. However, Ukraine has not publicly acknowledged launching attacks against targets inside Russia. On the other hand, German Defense Ministry said that Ukraine has requested to Germany for providing Taurus cruise missiles. The missiles have a range of over 500 kilometers, which would make it possible for Ukraine to strike Russian territory. With the upcoming G20 summit just about 3.5 months away, meetings under India's presidency have gathered pace. The past week saw a host of meetings across the country. The most important among them was the third Tourism Working Group meeting at Srinagar. It came out as a big opportunity to showcase India's tourism prowess to the world. It showcased the beauty of Kashmir for the world. Let us take a look at the developments this week.
G20 India 2023. One Earth, one family, one future.
The third Environment and Climate Sustainability Working Group was held in Mumbai during May 21 to 23. The three-day event commenced with a side event on beach cleanup in Juhu, Mumbai, followed by the side event, the Ocean 20 Dialogue. Both the side events aimed at promoting a sustainable and climate-resilient blue economy. The issue in focus was various aspects of blue economy. The deliberations looked at the well-being of the oceans, reversing damage to them and protecting our marine resources. The sessions concluded on a way-forward note for the fourth round of the meeting of the group. The third Tourism Working Group meeting in Srinagar was the big event of the week during 22nd to 24th of May. The meeting highlighted the prospects for ecotourism and film tourism opportunities in the scenic beauty of Kashmir. G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant said, PM Narendra Modi believes that tourism has the biggest multiplier effect, being the biggest job creator, and this G20 meeting will lead to more job creation in Jammu and Kashmir. He said, there is no better film destination than Kashmir for the film industry. During the occasion, draft national strategy for film tourism was unveiled in presence of Union Ministers Dr. Jitendra Singh and Shri G. Kishan Reddy. Film actor K. Ramcharan, Amitabh Kant, Secretary, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, Apurva Chandra and G20 Chief Coordinator Harshvardhan Shringla were present on this occasion. On the sidelines, a panel discussion took stock of the challenges promoting destinations through films. The participants emphasized the impact of film tourism on these destinations. The deliberations and outcomes of this meeting will be followed upon in the fourth meeting to be held in Goa from 19th to 20th of June. The second Trade and Investment Working Group meeting was held in Bengaluru during May 23rd to 25th. The participants held an in-depth discussion on the way forward to integrate MSMEs with global trade and set up a meta-information portal for MSMEs. They also discussed establishing resilient and diversified global value chain and preparing a compendium on mutual recognition agreements, digitize cross-border trade and press for WTO reforms. The next meeting of the TIWG will be held in Kevadia in Gujarat from the 10th to 12th of July. Second Anti-Corruption Working Group meeting was held in Rishikesh during May 23rd to 25th. 90 delegates from 20 member countries and 10 invitee countries attended the meet. 9 international organizations including UNODC, OECD, Egmont Group, Interpol and IMF joined the deliberations. It was chaired by Rahul Singh, Additional Secretary, DOPT and Chair, G20 Anti-Corruption Working Group and co-chaired by Italian representatives. A unique side event was also held on gender and corruption on the first day of the meeting. Intensive and productive deliberations were held on asset recovery, fugitive economic offenders, formal and informal channels of cooperation for information sharing, institutional frameworks for combating corruption, and mutual legal assistance, among others. The delegates agreed upon the 3 high-level principles. These include promoting integrity and effectiveness of public bodies and authorities responsible for preventing and combating corruption, strengthening law enforcement-related international cooperation and information sharing for combating corruption, and strengthening asset recovery mechanisms related to corruption. The outcomes of this meeting will form the base for the upcoming meeting in Kolkata from August 9th to 11th. India will also host the first ever in-person anti-corruption ministerial meeting to provide further impetus to the G20 agenda of bolstering the international fight against corruption. The second Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group meeting was held in Mumbai during 23rd to 25th of May. The participants underlined the importance of disaster-resilient infrastructure and financing for disaster risk reduction. A day-long side event on the theme Financing for Disaster Risk Reduction was organized on the first day. The side event witnessed the participation of experts from key international organizations such as UNDP, OECD, IMF, ADB and EBRD. A side event on eco-based approaches for disaster risk reduction was also organized by NDMA in collaboration with the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, UN Major Group on Children and Young People, UNEP and others. The third and final meeting of the Disaster Risk Reduction Working Group will be held at Chennai from July 24th to 26th. Now, let us take a look at the upcoming meetings. Third Employment Working Group meeting is scheduled from May 31st to 2nd June under the Sherpa track in Geneva. The third Health Working Group meeting will be held from June 4th to 6th under the Sherpa track in Hyderabad. The third International Financial Architecture Working Group meeting will be held from June 5th to 7th under the Finance track in Goa. The fourth Development Working Group meeting is scheduled from June 6th to 9th under the Sherpa track in New Delhi. The Development Ministers meeting will be held from June 11th to 13th, 2023 at Varanasi. The third Framework Working Group meeting is planned for June 12th to 14th under the Finance track in Kochi. The third Digital Economy Working Group meeting is scheduled to be held from June 12th to 14th under the Sherpa track in Pune. The most important among these is the Development Ministers meeting scheduled in Varanasi. It will bring forth the outcomes of all the previous deliberations held under India's G20 presidency.
G20 India 2023. One Earth, one family, one future.
India's ace shuttler HS Pranoy made the men's singles final at the Malaysia Masters 2023, while PV Sindhu's women's singles campaign at the BWF World Tour Super 500 event ended after a loss in the semi-final on Saturday. World number 9 HS Pranoy received a walkover in his semi-final clash after Indonesia's Christian Adinata pulled out with an injury towards the end of the first game. Pranoy will face either Lin Chun-yi of Chinese Taipei or China's Tung Hang-yang in the title clash. Meanwhile, PV Sindhu was defeated by Indonesia's Gregoria Mariska Tunjung 21-14, 21-17 in the Malaysia Masters 2023 semi-finals at the Axiata Arena in Kuala Lumpur. In IPL cricket, Gujarat Titans will face Chennai Super Kings in the summit clash at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad on Sunday evening. Gujarat Titans stormed into the final, defeating Mumbai Indians by 62 runs in the second qualifier match on Friday. Chasing 234 for victory, Mumbai Indians were all out for 171 in 18.2 overs. Now let us take a look at the major developments around the world. As reported in the foreign press, the Wall Street Journal reports Europe rebuffs China's efforts to split the West in pushing Ukraine ceasefire. The Guardian writes, Sudan army calls on former soldiers to re-enlist as fighting persists through ceasefire. Le Monde reports Macron's sociologists and the middle class, a secret Israel luncheon. The Japan Times reports last-minute climate deal hiccups expose EU concerns over political costs. Washington Post reports Russians snitch on Russians who oppose war with Soviet-style denunciations. South China Morning Post writes, Joe Biden says hopeful on US debt deal within hours. Khabar Hub writes, we jumped into the war against corruption, don't know when we will be ambushed. PM Dehal. And The Globe and Mail writes, former Conservative leader informed he's being targeted by the Chinese government. A quick look at the headlines once again. Prime Minister receives Sengol from the Adhinams of Tamil Nadu, shares a video of the new Parliament building to be inaugurated with #MyParliamentMyPride. Nepalese Prime Minister to embark on an official visit to India next week. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to attend the swearing-in ceremony of Nigeria's President-elect. Drone attack on a Russian oil pipeline facility speculated to be a counter-offensive of Ukraine. In Jammu and Kashmir, Hizbul Mujahideen activists arrested by CRPF and local police in Kishtwar district. Deputy National Security Advisor chairs a meeting to ensure India's rights under Indus Waters Treaty. And in Malaysia Masters Badminton semi-finals at Kuala Lumpur, ace shuttler HS Pranoy reaches men's singles final. And now before we end, let us listen to Mahatma Gandhi's favourite bhajan Vaishno Jan by artists from Senegal. And with that, we end this bulletin. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow with the next edition of World News.